Switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch in 3, 2, 1.
Buying goods at fair prices.
Good. Oriandra got my message to you. I've been scrying through my memories, trying to find the missing events that will remind me where I hid the heart of transparent law. I believe my efforts have revealed something significant. Not exactly. While scrying through my memories, I saw half-formed thoughts and splintered recollections. I saw myself enter the dreaming cave beneath Kapora Tower, and I held the heart of transparent law in my hands. I opened a portal, but I can't recall where it went. Something intentionally blocked the destination from my sight. I entered the portal, and time passed. Then I was back in the cave, and the heart was gone. Will you accompany me to the Dreaming Cave? The answer to where I hid the heart of transparent law resides in the Dreaming Cave. Or, more precisely, through the portal I opened and once traversed. But therein lies the problem. It's best if I showed you. Meet me in the cave beneath this tower. The Dreaming Cave lies beneath Kapora Tower, where the various threads of magicka and other energies come together and pool like water running down a chain. Trained Psijics can use that energy to open portals to anywhere in Oblivion and beyond. Perhaps. I honestly can't remember. If not for the success of my scrying spell, even this minor memory would still elude me. There's more to explain, but words fail me. I'll show you what I mean when we go down to the Dreaming Cave. Just the result of my scrying spell. It allowed me to project images from my mind for further study, to look for details my memory alone may have missed. I watched one particular sequence over and over, the one where I took the heart into the cave. As I explained, the scrying allowed me to see myself take the heart into the Dreaming Cave, to watch as I opened a portal and stepped inside. Then the image faltered and skipped a beat. It ended with me back in the cave, but the heart was gone. Valcerin refuses to leave Lathan's side. She's trying to get him to explain how he could forsake our order and pledge himself to a Daedric prince. I hope she can see her way through this. We're going to need her before all is said and done. That's not my tale to tell. They both rose through the ranks of our order together, fell in love, had a child. The rest... The answer to where I hid them...
Forgive me for...
Another visitor.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the Dreaming Cave. Here, we can open paths to other realms. This particular path is blocked by Daedric magic. I have an idea, though. Take the Dawnstar gem from your pack and hold it up to the barrier. Just as I surmised, the barrier, it withdraws from the Dawnstar's power. Dawnbreaker's gem contains a portion of Meridia's power, but on its own it isn't strong enough to dispel this barrier. We need to find the Dawnbreaker's sword and make it whole once more. We know that at least one Daedric prince has attempted to help us against the triad of Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal. I think it's time to approach Meridia. We need to locate a true believer. One of Meridia's cultists. If anyone can direct us toward Daedric activity on Somerset, it's Lathan. Talk to Lathan. See if you can convince him to help us find one of Meridia's priests. As we've seen, the triad of Daedric princes was able to interfere with the Golden Knight's efforts to reach us. If I attempt to use the Dreaming Cave to contact Meridia, chances are they'll notice and stop us. We can't risk tipping our hand just yet. The barrier doesn't block every possible path, only the one that I saw in my scried memory. The path that leads to where I hid the heart of transparent law. As Katora's magic continues to fade, I believe my memories will return in time. I don't think so. Each member of the Cabal possesses a unique talent. Katora dealt in mind magic. When you killed him, that magic was lost to the Cabal. Just as you were attuned so you could travel to and from Artaeum, we use the same magic to prevent Lathan from leaving the island. He is free to wander where he will, but Lathan was a good man. I have to believe he still is, despite pledging his allegiance to Mephala and the Court of Bedlam. Besides, Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal. Talk to Lathan. See if he'll be...
Racing pigs make...
I never planned to come back here. The memories are painful.
I still can't believe I had to find you and drag you back. Was our time together really so terrible?
You still don't understand. Our daughter will never again see this view, or hold my hand, or anything.
What a fool I've been. I was worried sick about Lathan while he was out cavorting with worshippers of Mephala. I lost a daughter too. We're Sijic monks. We don't have anything as barbaric as a dungeon or a jail. Instead, we adjusted his attunement spell to make it impossible for him to leave Artaeum. Lathan is free to wander the island, as befits a friend of the Right Master. My husband was well liked and respected. He and the Right Master often talked and conducted research. Ikesis is probably as devastated by Lathan's betrayal as I am. Good luck with that. Maybe you'll get something useful out of him, but I doubt it. Lathan was stubborn before he became an...
I suppose it's too much for a prisoner to expect a few moments of solitude with his thoughts. Ah, well. So, what can I do for you? Has the Right Master... What a curious question. Do you actually believe that all Daedric cultists know each other? I hate to disappoint you, we don't. Although I can tell you that there are a lot fewer of the Lady of Life's followers. The Court of Bedlam has been actively eliminating the competition, as it were. Oh, I wasn't personally involved, but I have it on good authority that the... Or? Who can say? I imagine that one or two of them scurried down a dark hole before the blade fell. Like rats, her followers are.
That sounds like a wild Nixad chase. Didn't Razumdar mention he was investigating Daedric cults on Somerset? Maybe you should go talk to him.
Haven't you left yet?
Razumdar has been investigating Daedric activity across Somerset. He's your best... When last we checked, the Eye of the Queen was in Shimmerine, conducting his own investigation. Razumdar...
Haven't you left yet? Don't you have an island full of... Let me let you in on a secret. Just between us, you understand. My Prince Methala and her partners in the Triad... Were the words I used too complicated for you to understand? War. As in death and destruction. Winners and losers. Methala knocked her because you asked? Seriously. What does it hurt to tell you about things you can't possibly influence? You and your Sijic friends never mention my daughter again, you insignificant dolt. Eldaway was perfect in every way. She was my sun and moons, and the best friends. I suppose we were. He's a good leader and an excellent teacher, if I have one. You pry into subjects best left alone, stranger. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't see that fact changing, do you? Now get out.
If the Queen's Eye wants to chase his own tail by following skeever scribblings, fine by me. Anything to keep him out of our business.
Step away from that scribble, newcomer.
Take a breath, Bailiff. It's just a scribble, not one of Razandar's conspiracies.
Talk to Bailiff Roland. He apparently enjoys dealing with...
Only one of the lesser races would deface a beautiful wall like that. I mean no disrespect, but my statement rings true. Razandar claims the scribble. The cat mentioned he was working with a newcomer. But if you ask me about Daedra, I'll toss you down a pit. As I told Razandar, Somerset banished Daedric cults centuries ago. Our biggest problem right now concerns these walls. Do I look like a Khajiit keeper to you? He said something about the scribble.
Come to admire...
It's a scribble.
Hurry now.
Raz doesn't care who you worship. He just wants to know if your cult was attacked recently.
Periite would welcome you. Our prince accepts all kinds, and you'd be our first Khajiit.
You'd be our first anything, actually. I told Philbert this was a mistake. Periite protects...
Look, Martine. The sacred scribbles of Periite have brought another aspirant to our holy fire. Would you like to hear about Periite? He may be the prince of plague and pestilence, but what better way to find true believers? Since Daedric worship is against the law, only the truly faithful would know that a skeever is one of Periite's sacred symbols. Well, that and the dragon, but I've never seen one of those. Those gloried constables? Why would I be worried about them? I don't think any of them care about the wonders of Periite or the mysteries of the divine skeever. Unless... The court of what now? Is that a high elf thing? They really are fond of their rules and regulations, and their courts. Lots of courts. That's the great thing about Periite. There aren't any rules. Well, at least none that anybody cares about. You want to join? Well, this is embarrassing. We didn't expect anyone to accept the word of Periite, at least not this quickly. We haven't figured out the specifics yet. Dues, uniforms, rituals, things like that. Could you come back?
Five Claw, you have the happy ability to know where to find Raz when Raz has need of you. Getting information out of these Periite idiots is like squeezing milk from a stone. This is why Raz hates dealing with Daedric cults. Interesting question. Raz has learned that the Court of Bedlam has been attacking the cults of other princes, including those devoted to Meridia and Azura. You do? Well, Raz trusts you, so I can tell you about an old friend who attends Meridia ceremonies in the Etonir Grotto. Raz doesn't approve, but it's her life, yes? This one will make contact and meet you outside Etonir. Raz was planning to head up north to Etonir after talking to these Periite imbeciles anyway, to check on his old friend. The Court of Bedlam's attacks on the other cults were particularly vicious, and this one was war. That would explain the attacks. Raz isn't an expert on Daedric cults, but this doesn't sound like their usual behavior. This one thought they just sort of left each other. That's a terrible thing to say. No, Raz refuses to believe it. Raz's friend is a survivor. She's got to be all right. This one will go and make contact. Make sure she's fine. Then we'll meet you out. Raz hears things. He heard about the attacks on the rival cults. He heard that the court consists of followers of 3 different princes. And he heard that even though the High Elves constitute the majority of the court, a single Dark Elf among a group of High Elves seems significant to Raz. Besides, everyone seems to fear her, but this one could not dig up any details. Raz was planning to head up north to Etonir.
Look, Martine.
I've never known such fear.
Eyes of polished amber, hair spread like a comet's tail, soul alive with love and joy on the pregnant golden sails. My star-eyed bride of Valinor, lost in storm and spray. My star-eyed bride of Valinor.
Honor and praise. I'm glad the stars saw fit to see our paths cross again, my friend. Cloudrest's recovery has been going smoothly, with the help of my order. It'll take time. Begging the nobles for funds. What else? They're not particularly pleased with this whole embarrassment. That's exactly how they refer to it, too. An embarrassment. They'd rather ignore Cloudrest exists than admit... Oh, I'll get that funding, all right. One way or another. Maybe next meeting I'll bring Dare along. Try to scare some sense into those bureaucrats. Actually, that's not a half bad idea. As well as can be expected, given what we've been through. Still, everyone seems to have recovered. Sororia said that if she had to stay another minute in bed, she'd set it on fire. I take that as a good sign.
Over here, Five Claw. This is Raz's old friend, Sadarado. She follows Meridia, but do not hold that against her. Raz is pleased.
May Meridia's light shine upon you. Raz told me you need to contact my prince. With the recent attacks, however, I need to ask you what your interest in Meridia happens to be. Meridia's Sword of Light. I'm not sure I understand. Even if I wanted to help you, my efforts would probably be in vain. My prince doesn't speak to just any mortal. The leader of our sect had Meridia's ear, but he was caught in a recent... My prince blessed you with her presence. That's a story I'd love to hear sometime. For now, I'll do my best to help you, but the path to the shrine will be hazardous. Mephalah's creatures still roam the area, feasting on my brothers and sisters. Enter the grotto and look for our camp. Meridia's shrine looms over the area. Raz will accompany me and will enter via a side tunnel. I don't want you to have to worry about me while you're defending yourself against those creatures.
This one...
I want to help, Raz. Maybe this is the reason Meridia allowed me to escape when the rest of my sect was attacked.
Raz is not fond of Daedric cultists, but no one deserves to die like this.
The Court of Bedlam are cowards. They struck us down without warning. I will try my best to get your friend an audience with the Lady of Light. The shrine is just a shrine to Meridian.
Such a trap.
Master, what did those bastards do to you? Look what they did to his body. They defiled Meridia's shrine.
That light, that is not natural, yes?
Meridia, she calls to us.
My devoted priest, a loyal soldier, and an intrepid instigator. Step closer and bask in Meridia's light.
Why is this statue talking to Raz? Should it be doing such a thing?
My followers murdered. My shrine desecrated. The other princes, this so-called triad, they must answer for these insults. But I sense a question in your mind. Speak, champion of Cold Harbor. Ask what you will of the Prince of Light. They dare to steal my vessel? To hold prisoner the agent I put in place to foil their despicable plans? My light shall not be snuffed out. My colored runes will not be compromised. You must set Darien Gautier free. My vessel just thinks of itself as the mortal called Darien Gautier. In reality, Darien is my will and my power, inserted into your reality whenever my light needs to banish a darkness. The night had a single purpose, but somehow you complicated matters. Now the night actually cares. You and my vessel will both be required to stop the trial. The gem cannot grow a new sword, but I can add to its power. Now you can use it to locate Darien in Mephalah's realm. Return to the Right Master and tell him what I said. Wait, how dare they? The Triad...
Meridia, my prince! She's gone. I can't feel her presence any longer.
Raz is certain that the nice statue will be fine. In the meantime, let this one take you someplace where you will be safe.
Our shrine.
Raz has seen many things. Were-sharks, flying tigers, were-sharks on top of flying tigers. But a talking light? Ah, Queen Irene will never believe it. How much trouble are we in, Five Claw? Be honest with old Raz. Too much honesty is never a good thing. How do we battle Daedric princes? Raz supposes an army would help. An army always helps. Alas, Raz rarely has an army to call upon when he needs one the most. And that involves traveling to places Raz never knew existed before all this started. No. Raz will see Sadara to safety and then do what he can to protect Somerset and the Crystal Tower. The Daedra fighting, Raz will leave to you, yes? Raz will take
Our shrine.
Somerset, but nothing of the court itself.
I think the Court of Bedlam has fewer members than we imagined.
Enough of this for now. Let's see what our friend has learned. You returned, but without the Dawnbreaker. Weren't you able to make contact with Meridia? The Court of Bedlam is eliminating the cults of the other princes? To what end? You said you were able to make contact with Meridia. Then I suspected that might be the case. I'll send Valsarun with you into Mephalah's realm to rescue the Golden Knight. A disturbing development, to be sure, but we'll have to hope Meridia can protect herself. I'll open a portal to Mephalah's spiral skein when you're ready. Then you can...
Mephalah's realm can be daunting, but I'll be with you the entire time.
Remember to stay focused on your destination at all times. Otherwise, you could get lost in myriad pathways of the Dreaming Cave. And whatever you do, don't lose that gem.
Are you there? I think we were separated. Maybe it will reveal a path we're not seeing. I think there's something stalking me here. Oh no! Thank the stars! I can breathe again. I couldn't breathe. As usual, you found me just in the nick of time. The beast that captured me... I've never... A little lightheaded, but I'll be fine. Now that we're together, we can focus on finding the Golden Knight. And if that beast shows it's something with the body of a giant spider, and... well, I'm not sure how to describe it. We just need... here. That wasn't a pleasant experience. Out of place in this dismal setting. That must be the Golden Knight. We just need... won't leave something as valuable as Meridia's Golden Knight unprotected. Or my webs will fill your pretty mouth next.
Warn them.
The Golden Knight. The Golden Knight.
took you long enough. I expected this rescue hours ago.
Your gratitude has a hollow ring, Knight.
Oh, I can be very grateful, my lady.
Maybe we should just leave him. I'm sure the right master would This is Merid. This is Merid. This is Merid. This is Merid.
Well, this is awkward. You're probably wondering how your old friend Darien became Meridia's champion and got stuck in all this sticky webbing. You know, it's a funny story, really. Probably better if I wait to tell it. Guilty as charged. Meridia sent me to offer my assistance. There's one small problem. We can't just walk through a door to get back to Tamriel. Believe me, I tried. How did you find me, by the way? Mephala specifically said she was putting me someplace where no one would ever think to look. Oh, right, the gem. That makes sense. I perfectly understand. You need Meridia's champion, so here I am. And with the gem, I can repair Dawnbreaker. Just so you know, I feel awful. I am in no condition to fight at the moment.
Let's get out of here. Meet me outside. I can open a portal to the... I can open a portal to the Dreaming Cave, but the ritual will take time. and will more than likely draw Mephal's Daedra. You need to hold them off until I can find a way back home. I won't be able to assist you while I'm casting. Let my voice penetrate the barriers between here and the Dreaming Cave. Keep them back a few moments longer. I can sense the portal opening, just by the stars! That spider thing! The portal has opened. Let's get out of here.
Valcerin, take the knight to the healers. We'll deal with the sword later. In the meantime, I need to speak with our friend. You and Valcerin entered Mephal's realm and rescued Meridia's Golden Knight. I couldn't ask... You and Valcerin entered Mephal's realm and rescued Meridia. You and Valcerin entered Mephal's realm and rescued Meridia's Golden Knight. I couldn't ask for more, my friend. I assume Darien believes he can repair the Dawnbreaker. I hope that would be the case. The Golden Knight will need to recover some of his strength first, though. Who knows what tortures Mephala and her creatures inflicted upon him? That's not a fate I'd wish on my worst enemy. Who can say what drives such beings as these? To work with the Sea Slode, to pit their followers against the cultists of other princes, to launch attacks into rival oblivion. Knight Darien needs to recover his strength first, and restore the Dawnbreaker. Then we can attempt to unblock... Once the Dawnbreaker... Knight Darien needs to recover his strength first, and restore the... While the Golden Knight recovers, we must make preparations for breaching the Daedric barrier. Since I can't remember where that particular pathway goes, we'll have to be ready for any contingency. I also need to tell you about another memory. My memories returned slowly, a little at a time. While you searched for the night, a memory came back to me. A woman's voice, barely a whisper. Beautiful, but speaking in a language I can't understand. I suspect that the language is ancient. It may actually predate the languages of Tamriel. I feel that the memory is connected to the barrier in the Dreaming Cave, and where I hid the heart. My friend, we need to discover the meaning of these words. I hoped you'd say that. I sent Oriandra to my study to review my memory and see if she could translate the ancient words. I even suggested a scholar she could contact, an expert in ancient languages and obscure dialects. Go, check on her progress. No. I just feel that the words contain the key to where I hid the heart of transparent law. I do know the language is not native to Tamriel, or to anywhere on Nirn for that matter. It feels ancient. Forte, the Grand Maestro of the House of Reveries. We've shared research in the past, and he thinks the language could be related to tablets he once studied in Ebon Stadmont. Now go and see if Oriandra has made any progress by reviewing my memory.
not derived from Iliad, though I see a possible correlation to Daedric linguistic patterns. Don't you know not to interrupt a sage when she's deep in concentration? I suppose the Rite Master sent you to see how my research was coming along. I've listened to his memory over and over, and I examined every relevant tome I could find. Not yet. The Master of the House of Reveries sent me his work. It relates to a similar language seen in the ruins of Ebon Stadmont, but I only understand a little of it. I wish Lathan was still one of us. He was our language expert. Ancient languages and battle magic, to name just a few. Lathan betrayed us, and I don't trust him, but I've reached a dead end. We need help, and he's the best option I can think of. Take the notes and show them to Lathan. What do we have to lose? I'll let the Rite Master know what I proposed. He may not like it, but he's always telling us to utilize every available resource. I think this qualifies. You'll find Lathan in Valserin's study. See if you can convince him to translate the words. I have no idea, but it's worth a try. I know Lathan and the Rite Master were friends. I don't believe Lathan would purposely try to harm Ikesis. On the other hand, if Lathan thinks that helping us will help his cause, he'll jump at the chance. I suppose it had something to do with his daughter. Eldaway was a beautiful girl, smart, sweet, and full of energy. She brightened the entire island. When she fell ill, Lathan and Valserin grew. Don't you think we tried? The Rite Master, Valserin, the entire Conclave. But nothing helped. She grew weaker and weaker, and then she was gone. Val threw herself into her work after that. Lathan just grew more distant. Only if you want to guarantee that Lathan refuses to help us. Haven't you seen them since they were reunited? Val wants to kill him, and Lathan hates her with a passion. They used to be so in love. Now it breaks my heart to see them like this. I'll let the Rite Master...
Tranquil greetings.
You weren't this attentive when our daughter actually needed you.
Lathan, I need to go check on the knight anyway.
Val, wait. Damn it. By the spinner's holy webs, when did I become an insufferable arse? Valcerin didn't deserve that. Ildaway was her daughter too. Why am I talking to you about this? I know it isn't because I like you, because I really don't. Is this some new attempt at interrogation? If so, I'm not familiar with the technique. Very well, I'll play along. Yes, I am a master linguist, specializing in ancient. Intriguing. I've never seen this dialect before. I can translate it, but I need more to work with. I need to examine the original tablets found at Ebon Stadmont. That will never happen, of course. According to those notes, the writing is carved into a massive stone. I doubt you'd be able to carry it back here. All right, you've piqued my interest. Use this rune when you reach Ebon Stadmont, and I'll be able to... Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking. Just enter the forest, find the obscure language, and use the rune so I can see what you see. It won't do anything beyond that, I assure you. According to the scribblings of this Grand Maestro Forte, Spinner's Web, that's a pompous title, the forest is a maze filled with all kinds of beasts and daedra. As to the reason why, who can say? Sometimes a cursed wood is just a cursed wood. I don't see how that's relevant to our interactions. Not in the least. Still, my words were spiteful, meant to hurt her. You and Ichesis, always sticking your noses into places they don't belong. I suppose I can appreciate that, but kindness won't help you in the coming war. Very well. I'll tell you this. Hate, I'm not sure what emotions I feel right now. But when my daughter was dying, when she was crying for her mother's comfort, Val wasn't there. She was buried in her work, too busy or too frightened to spend those final moments with Ildaway. Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking. Just enter the forest. According to the script, I don't see how that's relevant to our interesting. Honesty and a shrewd tactic. I can appreciate that. Still, my business is my own. I'm not looking for a friend or to rejoin the Sigil. According to those notes...
suppose I did succeed in this expedition. I'm sure these notes... Tellinger is the...
The room is working perfectly. It's almost as if I can feel the powerful magic that permeates this place. I sense a Daedric influence, but something that's far... Oh, the Maestro's notes said the ancient words were etched into a massive stone. I expect you'll need to travel deeper into the forest to find the exact location. I can't translate. Just retrace your steps. You likely walked by the massive stone and didn't even realize it. Wait a moment. The Maestro's notes had a passage about crows and a path. Just refer to the book and hope for the best, I guess. Refer to the book and use the rune again when you locate the ancient writing. Have you found the inscription? Not yet, but the inscription is nearby. I sense something else, though. Nocturnal's presence. The Grand Maestro mentioned Daedra, and I never imagined they'd belong to one of the patrons of the Court of Bedlam. This changes everything. Now I'm really interested in helping you translate the Right Master's memory. An excellent question. But we won't learn anything if you continue to stand here and talk to me. Ancient inscription. You found it. Something isn't right. I feel... our connection breaking up. It's Nocturnal's Earl...
Now that Lathan's gone, we can talk freely. I never expected to see you again. But you shouldn't have come here. These words of power, they aren't meant for mortal eyes. I'm an Earl in the Court of Bedlam now, so believe me when I say that Lathan isn't being totally honest with you. That doesn't matter. What matters is that I want to maintain the balance of power among the Daedric Triad. If Lathan translates the language and gives Mephala the secret, she'll gain an advantage that could threaten my prince, Nocturnal. Speculate all you want. I'm here to give you a gift. Nocturnal has authorized me to provide you with the meaning of the mysterious phrase. It's in all our best interests for the Right Master to remember where— the phrase the Right Master remembers. The words he keeps hearing. It's a spell to retrieve something hidden. When the time is right, he just needs to repeat the phrase to reveal the heart's hiding place. I wasn't sure how I'd feel if I saw you or Naryu again. Balmora seems like a lifetime ago, and I'm a new person since committing myself to Nocturnal's service. I wish you weren't involved in this matter. Artaeum is only as isolated as it allows itself to be. First, the Abyssal Pearl allowed the Sea Slode and Mephala to invade the Sidjic Island. Then you took Lathan, an Earl in the Court of Bedlam, prisoner. We know your moves before you make them. Our princes plan to do away with the laws imposed by other powers. They want to remake Nirn, reshape it to better suit their every inclination. Of course, to do this, all obstacles must be cast aside. A court isn't evil. We wouldn't be a part of something that didn't add to the greater good. When our princes are done, war and sickness will be eradicated. There will be true peace.
and godhood for the court, as befits beings of our stature.
A new life.
More like a new prison. Serving at the feet of a Khajiit to become a slave to the High Elf Queen? No, that's not an existence I could bear. I follow the shadowy paths of Nocturnal now. She gives me the freedom to be who I really am. I felt abandoned, lost. That's when Nocturnal offered to comfort me. Not the Morag Tong, not a Khajiit guardian, not even you. Nocturnal gave me a purpose and a family. She gave
Belief doesn't make something true.
You stopped me once, but I'm stronger now. More powerful. As for the princes, you're barely a speck on a flea that gets casually brushed aside after a minor irritation. I wasn't sure how I'd feel if I saw you or Naryu again. Tell the Right Master, it's a spell of retrieval.
Finally, I've re-established my connection to the rune. Tell me what Nocturnal's Earl said to you. I can't believe Nocturnal's Earl interfered like that. We're supposed to be allies. Why would she want to stop me from reading that? A spell. Interesting. And somehow connected to the Right Master's forgotten hiding place. I wonder why Nocturnal decided to share this information. She isn't usually the most forthcoming of the court's esteemed princes. Right. I told them to interrupt my research before I could unravel an ancient and powerful language. Look, you should come back to Kapora Tower now. The Right Master wants to hear everything my associate shared with you. And frankly, so do I. I just wish I could have spent a few moments studying that inscription.
Oriandra, you should have consulted me beforehand.
She saw an opportunity and she took it, Ichesis.
Silence, Lathan! Need I put you in chains to remind you of your status here?
I'm sorry, Right Master. We should have asked permission. It won't happen again.
Ichesis is in a mood.
This escapade of yours could have been disastrous. What were you and Oriandra thinking, trusting Lathan to help us translate the ancient language? Now nothing you discovered can be trusted. We're back to square one. I observed what I could through Lathan's connection, but it seems to me that the Court of Bedlam is just trying to confuse us. What do you think? Should we trust Nocturnal's Earl or not? As much as it pains me, I must concur. We'll just have to make sure that once we recover the heart, it isn't allowed to fall into the hands of the Court of Bedlam or their princes. No matter whether Nocturnal's Earl spoke truth or lies, we need to recover the heart of Transparent Law. I'm sure I hid it somewhere beyond the Daedric barrier. Was there anything else before you go and check on Darien? That, my friend, would be a mistake. Somerset's ancient defenses have withered since the Transparent Law crystal was broken and the heart removed. Every moment the crystal tower remains incomplete, another protection falls away. I'm sure that it is. But in that certainty, we gain an advantage. You'll be at my side when we locate the heart, and you'll be there to help me defend it from the Court of Bedlam and their princes. I remember I tried to resist the Sea Sloat's compulsion and was able to maintain a sliver of control. But as for a revelation spell, where would I acquire something in such an obscure language? And whose voice do I hear echoing in my mind? I remember using what control I still possessed to foil Katora's plans. I recall forging a bargain with someone I have no memory of. I remember that it was the only way to assure the heart's safety.
They're just gone.
I've always healed fast, Val. I can call you Val, right? Give me a moment. I'd like to chat with our friend.
Of course. Then go to the Dreaming Cave. The Rite Master's ready to begin.
I wanted to thank you again for getting me out of Mephalah's realm. Wasn't anything like I originally imagined. Oh, and I wanted to let you know that I was able to repair the Dawnbreaker. The sword's power should allow us to breach the barrier. No thanks to the Psijic healers. I thought they were gonna slice me open to try to figure out what makes me... well, me. I'm glad you stopped by, though. I wanted to talk to you. In private. This might sound like a strange question. In fact, depending on how you answer it, it is a strange question. Do you remember? Yeah, it was terrible. One moment I'm fighting Molag Bal, and the next I'm stuck in the colored rooms without any kind of explanation. I tried everything I could think of to get out of there, but nothing worked until Meridia gave me this mission. I thought I did. After the big flash of light, I remember floating. Then there was more light. Meridia was there. She told me I was in her realm. Other than her lectures, it was pretty boring. Come to think of it, those were pretty boring too. Oh yeah, she said I was supposed to help you stop the Daedric princes, to keep them from reaching the Crystal Tower. Problem is, she didn't tell me how we're supposed to do that, and now I can't seem to reach her. I hate to admit it, but I'm worried. Fixing the Dawnbreaker was surprisingly easy, by the way, especially considering that I had never repaired a Daedric artifact before. Questions? Not like a test or anything, though, right? Tests give me a rash. But sure, yeah, what would you like to know? Being in the colored rooms was fun at first. Those golden saints were pleasant to look at. Their personalities leave a lot to be desired, though. I've had better conversations with the floating rocks than with those shiny. I ask myself that question every day. Meridia said I had a purpose, but she refused to elaborate. She said I'd recognize it when the time was right. Nothing more comforting than a Daedric prince being all vague about your fate. Help you? She talked about you a lot, as a matter of fact. We've already stopped one Daedric prince together, right? How hard can it be to stop 3? I wish I knew the answer to that. I remember my father well enough. He was a Breton, but I never met my mother. In fact, now that I think about it, my entire childhood is kind of a blur. I never questioned that. I'm not really sure why. Meridia only ever told me I was her vessel. I can't say I remember volunteering for that job, though. I have her magic inside me. I've had it all my life. I can feel it. But why? I have so many questions. Who I am, what I am, why the amazing good looks and roguish charm if I'm just here to stomp on Meridia's enemies. I mean, I guess if I was a prince, I'd want a dashing champion, so I can't blame her for that. Wait! Don't start without me!
The Right Master plans to lead this expedition personally. I'm glad to have him along, but I'm concerned whenever he puts himself at risk.
I'm getting sick and tired of barriers and Daedric interference and, well, Daedra in general. Talk to the Right Master and let's get this started.
We're as prepared as we can be without knowing exactly where this pathway leads. I've even set wards that will help protect me from the Daedric princes. Remember though, our primary goal is to recover the Heart of Transparent Law. The Golden Knight must wield the reforged Dawnbreaker to breach the barrier. Then we simply step through the portal and see where it takes us. I expect we may call upon your fighting skills before all is said and done. Are you ready to proceed? Of course.
watch as
standing around is a crime in Somerset?
Yes, we even have a word for it. Loitering. I suggest you learn it.
So, standing around is a crime in Somerset?
Yes, we even have a word for it. Loitering. I suggest you learn it. I have this under control. Not that it's your concern, but the Argonian has been found guilty of loitering. She can either pay her fine for disrupting the natural harmony, or spend the night in jail. It's not really...
Say, you speak mud for brains? I could use some help translating for this obviously underworked officer of the law. I've just been standing here trying to mind my own business until this thug starts telling me to shove off. I'm making people nervous. Apparently, that's a punishable offense in Somerset.
I have this under control. Please keep moving. Not that it's your concern, but the Argonian has been found guilty of loitering. She can either pay her fine for disrupting the natural harmony, or spend the night in jail. If she'll move on without a fuss, the Kinlords will be happy. If the Kinlords are happy, I'll be happy. Very well. You are free to go. Just do not give me cause to regret this decision.
just tasted awful. I did that farmer a favor.
He's disinclined to agree. Stand aside. You look familiar. You're not wanted, are you? No, I think not. Anyway, I'm in the middle of an arrest. What do you want? Our mutual friend has stolen and eaten a couple of chickens. The only modestly interesting part is that the chickens had escaped the market wagon they were traveling in. The farmer didn't... Her defense isn't totally without merit. She had no way to know the chickens weren't wild, so was she under any obligation of due diligence? Is it a crime? Is it not? To be honest, I'm having a hard time caring enough to...
Well, I'm running into all my old friends today. Look, before that reed liquor tells you otherwise, I thought those chickens were wild. I was going about my usual routine, down on my luck, starving, when out of nowhere these chickens, wild chickens on the loose, happened across my path like a gift from the divine. What else was I to do but eat them? I didn't steal nothing. I just caught some free-running fowl, and some muck-stepper is trying to lay claim to them after the fact. Honest mistake, at worst.
Stand aside. Our mutual... Her defense isn't totally without merit. She had no way to know the chickens weren't wild, so was she under any obligation of due diligence? It does stretch credible belief. And she's suspicious enough as it is. She can enjoy her next meal behind...
One of the Nevarra could have summoned it.
Whatever could this creature be?
We've killed one of these creatures, but there's no telling if any more are nearby. Keep on your guard.
I've never seen this creature's like, and I've been guarding Somerset for quite some time. How could something so vicious suddenly appear within our homeland? We were patrolling when this thing attacked us. We managed to put it down, but only just. I have seen nothing of its like before. That's disconcerting. I just wish I had more concrete information to report. We were patrolling when this thing attacked us. We managed to put it... What? If this is a jest, it's in poor taste. We've had no sign of sea slowed within Somerset for centuries. I can see you speak in earnest. But if what you say is... It's time to move out! The Battle Reeve must be informed about this.
Nothing we've seen before. I can tell you that much.
Keep your guard up. We may not be so lucky if more of these creatures attack. We were patrolling when this thing attacked, which suggests... Keep watch, soldier. I will be back with reinforcements.
I would move along quickly. Beast is nothing we've seen before. I can tell you that much.
Keep your guard up. We may not be so lucky if more of these... I've never... We were patrolling when this thing attacked us. True. Still, best if you moved along. There could be more of these things lurking.
You heard her.
Our business...
a Daedra. One of the Neverah could have summoned it.
Whatever could this creature be? I've never...
Perhaps it's a Daedra. One of the Neverah could have summoned it.
Whatever could this creature be?
Seen before. I can tell you that much.
Keep your guard up. We may not be so lucky if more of these creatures attack.
I'll count more Indrics between these pages than you'll find all day. Please, excuse me. A good question. If you ask my compatriot, books have more interesting things to say. And in the unlikely...
Duh. Look at regale the court with tales of how Paragon bravely wrestled 7 volumes to the ground. He'll have the paper cut.
You are aware that a Welwa can smell us from over a league away? You... Please. Allegedly, books have more interesting things to say. And in the unlikely event that we do stumble across them, that's more... it seems the hunt must go on. Please excuse me.
Put the book away, Paradon. You're sucking the fun out of this whole affair.
Could you keep it down? At least one of us should know about giant salamanders before... The giant salamander. Books have more interesting things to say. It's good you asked. It seems the hunt must go on. Please excuse me.
We can regale the court with tales of how Paradon bravely wrestled 7 volumes to the ground. He'll have the paper
If we were
cut
hunting
to prove
wine
it.
instead of Indrics, our hunt would be the stuff of... Please, excuse me. A good question. Hunting, ostensibly. If you ask my compatriot, books have more interesting things. At least someone is interested. It seems the hunt must go on. Please excuse me.
Put the book away, Paradon. You're sucking the fun out of this whole affair.
Is the plan to mask your scent with grapes before taking a Welwa? Please, excuse... Books have more... That's more like... it seems the hunt must go on. Please excuse me.
you purposefully doing a poor job? Because I can come to no other conclusion.
Oh, sure, blame us, when you're the reason we're in this mess. Sorry, but I don't have... The college is breathing down the sapien.
A research exercise that needs... I have... A research exercise that needs to be concluded as... Did I give the impression I was soliciting input? I am not. My research...
The college is breathing down the Sapiarch's neck, so he's taking it out on us. If you're not going to be... We can regale the court with tales of how Paradan bravely wrestled 7 volumes to the ground. He'll have the paper cut.
Are you trying to
prove it.
marinate before the giant salamander roasts you?
I heard.
Look, we're just enjoying a... Oh, I rather...
We can regale the court with tales of how Paradan bravely wrestled 7 volumes.
Is the plan to mask your scent with grapes before taking a well run?
Look, we're just... Oh, I rather...
Paradan, you're sucking the fun out of this whole affair.
If we were hunting wine instead of Indrix, our hunt would be the stuff of legend.
Look at Paradan with his
Duh. Please, a good If you ask my compatriot... Books have more interesting things to say.
Look, we're just enjoying...
The funniest... regale the court with tales of how Paradan bravely wrestled 7 volumes to the ground. Oh, what it is. Well, I can't tell any... Exactly. away, Paradon. You're sucking the fun out of this whole affair.